guys, and welcome to another episode of the Powerhouse Mentali podcast. I am your host. I'm Caitlin Kenneth Smith, and today is week 6 of your sustainable fat loss journey. And we already spoken about the basics of nutrition with calories, protein, fiber. We spoke about movement and resistance training being the second pillar, and then the third pillar of recovery. Since then, we've also spoken about why the scale isn't the most important thing for your progress, different tips that my most successful clients and myself use to make sure that we are seeing success and earning results. And then last week we went over how to overcome your plateau or what to do if your fat loss stalls. Now this week, I wanted to kind of bring it together and focus on the mindset and the mentality aspect of it because, well, number one, this is called the Powerhouse Mentali podcast. So obviously mindset is a huge part of it. But when you look at a fitness journey, specifically one that you want to be sustainable and one where you want to keep the lifestyle and accomplish long-term success, not just a quick fix, you need to recognize that there is a mindset or a mentality towards it because fitness and nutrition are very, very simple. However, if you're not in the right mindset to be able to sustain something, or you're not in the right mindset to start something or to believe in yourself, then you're never going to be able to sustain it or accomplish the things that you want in life. Mindset and mentality are such a huge part of anything that you want to be successful with in your life, including fitness and nutrition and health. So today, I want to give you a step-by-step guide, 12 steps listed out in order on how to build your powerhouse mentality for long-term success. And you can use this as a template into any goal that you want to accomplish. It could be something with your career. It could be something with your personal or family life. But obviously, for the sake of this series, using it for your health goals is going to be an extremely crucial part of this journey. Because a lot of people will want to skip over the mindset part. And they'll be like, oh, that's not valuable, right? I just want to know what to do and how to do it. However, if you don't have the mindset to be able to maintain those things that I've already taught you, then you're not going to make it. You're going to go right back to where you started, where you're continuing to be stuck in the cycle. The inner work is the most important work to be done, and it's the one that most people don't do because it's fucking painful. It's a little bit messy, and it takes a lot of effort. So let's start off, all right? The first step, and I'll have all these steps listed out for you down below in the show notes, so that way you can go back to it, all right? But step 1 is going to be to clarify your vision, all right? You have to define what your long-term health and fitness goals are, and you have to clearly define them. So many people I see mess this up because they put out like a really broad statement like, I want to be healthy. Great. Well, I'm pretty sure everybody on the planet wants to be healthy, but healthy or in shape is going to mean something completely different for everybody else. For one person, being in shape and healthy could be being a professional athlete, right? Being at the top peak of their performance. Whereas for somebody else, it could be just like, I want to be able to play with my kids without getting out of breath, and I want to be able to walk my daughter down the aisle and not die young of diseases that took my family members. Completely different. So you have to define what your long-term health and fitness goals are. And again, specific and very clear. Without clarity, it's kind of a little bit messy and it's a little bit blurry. And if you can't clearly see something, then it's going to be really hard for you to be able to map out the steps and the actions that you need to take in order to get to where your goal is. You also have to visualize what your desired outcomes and the lifestyle is that you want to achieve. Because if you can't clearly see it and you can't actually visualize what it feels like to be there, it's going to be really difficult for you to build the belief to be able to take the action. And I've spoken about this a lot, but if you don't truly believe, then you're never going to actually go all in on something. If you walk up to a squat bar and you're ready to squat and you have 135 loaded and you know for a fact you're going to hit that squat, you're probably going to fucking hit it. However, if you step up to the same squat, but you have the wrong mentality towards it because you say, I'm probably not going to hit this, and you start thinking about all the doubt, all the things that you did leading up to this that could have fatigued your body, you're probably not going to hit it. Without belief, it's really hard to do anything. Now, are you going to believe in yourself 100% of the time at 100%? No. But as long as you have some sort of belief that you can accomplish it, and it could be as simple as taking it one fucking step at a time, one little action at a time, one choice at a time. Because when you clearly define your vision, and when you see your vision, then you can begin to live in your vision, and that's when you step into your vision. Now, number 2, you have to set realistic goals. Now, I talk about setting impossible goals all the time. Impossible goals are realistic goals. However, the way that I like to look at this is that so many people, when they're starting a fat loss journey specifically, they set completely ridiculous goals that don't make any sense and will not be accomplished. For example, I want to lose 50 pounds in a month. Okay, great. That's not realistic for sustainable fat loss. If you want to lose 50 pounds in a month, go ahead, cut off your fucking leg, whatever, or just completely starve yourself and do hours and hours and hours of cardio. You might be able to lose 50 pounds. You're going to be so miserable that you're not going to be able to sustain it. And then as soon as you get back to your old lifestyle, you're going to gain it all back and then some, because you've significantly slowed down your metabolism. Because if you lost 50 pounds in a month, there ain't no way that you didn't lose muscle. So I'm somebody who wants to set big fucking goals. And I think that your long-term goals should be broken up into smaller milestones so that you can recognize those wins, and those wins can keep you going and keep that momentum moving. Because so many people will set like a huge fucking goal of, I want to lose 100 pounds. And that can be really overwhelming when you look at it from like a really broad perspective. However, when you break it down to, okay, if I'm going to lose 100 pounds and I'm losing a pound a week, that means I'm going to lose 5 pounds-ish, right? 4 to 5 pounds every month. So I'm going to measure that, okay? Every 5 pounds that I lose, that's a fucking win. That's a fucking win. That's a fucking win. Every single time every day that I hit my macros, that I hit my protein goal, that I get my movement in, that I keep that commitment to myself, that's a win. Those are goals that you should be setting for yourself, because confidence is simply the memory of winning. And if you're not going to recognize even the smallest of wins, then you're not going to build confidence. And without confidence, good luck continuing to take action. Winning is necessary. So ensure that your goals are specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're relevant to you, and they have a time to it. So SMART goals, right? We've all heard of SMART goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant to you, and timely. Make sure your goals, whatever they are, small goals, big goals, that they include those metrics, because if they don't, it's going to be really hard for you to actually measure if you're on the right path. And if you have no idea if you're on the right path, then when you have a setback or when you have a challenge that comes into your way, which is going to happen, you're going to have no idea if you're still on the right path, and you're going to start to question everything, and you'll probably fuck yourself over. Now, number 3, you have to cultivate, or you have to build a growth mindset. You almost have to adopt a growth mindset, because this is something that you have to build like a skill. You're not just born with it. However, you can open your mind and change your mindset very quickly. And when you change your mindset, it will change the way that you look at things. And when you change the way that you look at things, perspective drives performance. So you're going to be able to perform better in all areas of your life if you change your perspective on how you view things. And that's kind of what the growth or fixed mindset is related to. I see way too many people have a fixed mindset, and that's why they stay stuck ultimately. I know a lot of people who are really close to me in my life, a lot of people in my family specifically, who have a very fixed mindset, and they never see anything outside the box, or they don't believe that certain things are possible, and that just holds them back from ever trying to accomplish big things in their life, and then they just settle. And there's nothing worse in my mind than fucking settling. That just has a dirty feel to it, right? You're just settling. That just sounds like an insult. So stop insulting yourself and stop settling with a fixed mindset. Now, a fixed mindset means that you believe intelligence, talents, or other qualities are innate or you can't change them. So if you're good at something, if you're not good at something, you typically think that you're never going to be good at it. So then you probably don't fucking try. All right? But if you have a growth mindset, that means the opposite. So you believe that intelligence, talent, skills, all of these things can be developed with enough practice and effort. So if you work hard enough, then you can accomplish anything. That's kind of what a growth mindset is. And if you don't have a growth mindset, you're not going to be able to accomplish your goals. I'm sorry, but it's true. So you almost have to look at the setbacks that are going to happen in your life, because remember, no matter how good you are, no matter how amazing things are, there are always going to be setbacks. There's always going to be challenges and obstacles and horrific things that happen to you in life, because guess what? That's fucking life. Accept that. All right, but you have to view the setbacks as temporary obstacles or opportunities for improvement. Perspective, okay? It's important. Number 4, focus on sustainable habits. Literally what I've taught you up until this point during your Sustainable Fat Loss Journey series, the past 5 weeks, those are the sustainable habits that you need to focus on. So you have to shift your focus away from fad diets and short-term quick fixes, bullshit, and start focusing on sustainable lifestyle changes. Identify the habits that align with your goals and commit to integrating those into your daily routine. So the calories, the protein, the fiber, movement, strength training, recovery, and doing those things consistently. Number 5, this one is really important. I want you guys to highlight this one in your brain, because this is one that I see mess so many people up. They'll do the first 4 great, and then this one just fucks them over and they never accomplish anything. Stop shit-talking yourself. Stop it. Don't do that. If you keep telling yourself that you suck, or you're fat, or you're a burden, or you're lazy, or you don't matter, insert whatever negative self-talk that you tell yourself, because we all do it, or we all have done it. If you tell yourself that, that is what your brain will subconsciously try to prove to you. And you will continue to self-sabotage yourself, and you'll continue to wonder, why do I keep self-sabotaging myself? That's why. Because you keep telling yourself that you suck, or you keep apologizing for everything. Never fucking apologize for being who you are. Now, never fucking apologize for being who you are doesn't give you an excuse to be an asshole, doesn't give you an excuse to be lazy. It just means be who you are, live a life that you can be proud of, and stop worrying about other people and what they could potentially think of you. You have one life. You can't put everybody else above you and your life. You have to put yourself first, your personal development, your health first, because if you're not at your best, it doesn't matter how selfless you want to be, because you're not going to be able to be your best for the people that you want to be selfless for. So you have to be selfish in order to be selfless. You have to treat yourself with the same compassion that you would offer to a friend. Right? Would you ever tell your friend that they're a fucking burden or that they don't matter? Probably not, but you tell it to yourself all the time, and I know that you do, and it could be something different. It could be like, I'm just not enough, or I suck, or I do everything wrong. Don't do that to yourself. Take personal responsibility for your actions and get better. That's it. Once you take personal responsibility, then you give the power back to yourself. And when you have that power, you have the power to take action. And when you take action, that's when you start to see the results. But if you continue to shit talk yourself, you are not what you want to become. You are what you say you are. So if you continue to say that you are fat, you are lazy, you are always the dieter, you're always going to try to subconsciously prove that, and you're going to self-sabotage yourself. So start thinking about who you want to become and start telling yourself, I am in the process of becoming X. I am in the process of becoming this. Whatever that means for you, you're in the process, so give yourself some fucking credit. Number 6, build resiliency. Okay? I already spoke about how setbacks are going to happen in your life, and that those setbacks or those challenges are simply areas of opportunity when you have the right perspective towards it. So you have to build resiliency from those setbacks, right? We're going to have shit happen to us in life. It's inevitable. However, you get to make the choice on whether you're going to allow that setback, allow that challenge to be your prison or for it to be your power. So it's really important for you to develop different coping mechanisms to navigate obstacles and setbacks. And for a lot of people, you need to change your coping mechanisms. A lot of people use alcohol, drugs, binge eating. You have to change your coping mechanism to maybe personal development work, reading, walking, weight training, proper self-care, like fueling your body with the right foods, meditation. Fix your coping mechanisms. Remember, again, another area where perspective matters. Things don't happen to you. Stop saying, boo me, why is this happening to me? It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So shift your perspective, and instead of asking yourself, what can't I do? Ask yourself, what can you do? Because things will never be ideal. So fuck your expectations and go harder. You're going to build resiliency by adapting to the challenges and bouncing back stronger. Because on the other side of pain, on the other side of suffering, you will meet the best version of yourself, but you're never going to get there unless you go through it. You get through it by going through it. So go through it and build resiliency. Number 7, and I love this one because I think most people don't focus on this enough. Find joy in the little things. And I have a little bit of a backstory with this one. So I've been coaching people for over a decade, and I've been coaching one of my friends, Sam, with her nutrition. And it was maybe like 6 months, even probably more, closer to a year ago, because everything just fades together and time moves so quickly. We were having a conversation, and I was like, it's really important for us to find joy in the little things, find joy every day. And we were talking about things like simple, like fucking candles or flowers or things like that. Those little things that we just enjoy so much that just bring us like a good smile and make us feel warm and fuzzy inside. Those things are important. So find something that brings joy to your life and find joy in the little things every single day. And I talk about a practice that I have a lot of my clients do, and that's when you get to the end of your day and you're laying your head on your pillow, I want you to look back and I want you to look for the best part of your day and reflect on that. And it could be as simple as the best part of my day was when I lit my candle and sat down on the couch and ate dinner with my spouse. Simple. That's usually what it is for me. That's why I use that example. For somebody else, it could be, just sitting down, drinking a cup of coffee in the morning and watching the sunrise. It could be having a conversation with somebody who's really important to you. It could be even just as simple as like a text message or an interaction that you had with somebody at a grocery store. Find joy in the little things in your life and then recognize those things, because when you recognize them, you have more gratitude. And when you have more gratitude, you have a more positive perspective towards life. And that positive energy is going to bring more positive things to you. So enjoy the process of the journey. Enjoy the process of improving yourself and embrace the journey towards your goals and celebrate your progress and your victories, no matter how small those things are, right? Find joy in the little things and find joy in the journey. They kind of go hand in hand. Number 8, make sure that you surround yourself with support, with a community. You can seek out supportive friends or groups of people. I mean, social media is incredible. It can be an incredible tool for this. It really can be. Friends, family members, different people in your community who share the same values and goals as yourself. Don't be afraid to go to different events or do different races like 5Ks or 10Ks or things like that to be able to meet people in your community who are very like-minded in the sense where they want to improve themselves. Even looking on Facebook and joining Facebook groups that are intertwined with what you want to do. we are going to be opening up our Powerhouse Mentality Community Facebook group on April 1st. So I'm mentioning it here first. So if you do want to become a member of the Facebook group, I will put the link down below for you to join. We are not going to let people in until April 1st because we want to make sure that we have everything nice and set up for you guys. However, you can go down and answer the membership questions and join the group, or apply, I guess, to join the group. And then once we have everything set up, we'll let you guys in so you can start interacting with each other, because we want to build that support. We want to build that community for the people who not only listen to the podcast, but for the people who just want to be a part of something, who are maybe struggling, because think about how awful it feels to struggle on your own, because I've been there. It fucking sucks, and it's really hard to go through something by yourself. However, when you just have somebody to talk through things with, or if you have somebody to push you through things, or just somebody who's there to support you and listen to you, or you have a conversation with somebody who's been through something similar or who's on the same journey as you, it makes you feel like, okay, I can get through this. So surround yourself with people who can be positive influences on you and get rid of the negativity, because there are so many negative people out there, and negative people will only try to pull you down to their level. And this might mean that you might have to have some tough conversations with people who are really important to you in your life. I've had to have really tough conversations with people who are part of my family, and I've had to cut out people who are a part of my family because of the negativity that they bring into my life. But once I did cut them out, or once I had the tough conversation, it alleviated a lot of weight off my shoulders. So if you're somebody right now who doesn't have a positive influence in your life, look for it. Stop scrolling through social media and comparing yourself to everybody else, and start looking for a group that could help inspire and influence you. Number 9, your choices must align with your values. So with this, you have to develop what your core values or your core principles are. So you want to pick anywhere between 3 to 8. I usually say 3 to 5 is like that sweet spot of traits that you resonate with, and you have to review them on a daily basis to remind yourself how you're going to live your life, how you want to live your life in order to become the person that you want to become and that you want to be remembered as. But also to kind of reflect every day on, did I live my life today with the intent to carry out my core principles and live a life that I can be proud of? So you have to think, like, what are the things that are going to build the best version of yourself? And with that, I want to remind you that a lot of people, a lot of you who are listening to this, are not at the level that you want to be at in your life because you're holding on to resentment. So as you develop your core values, I want you to focus on letting go of the things that have happened to you in the past and focus instead on moving forward. So reflect on your core values and reflect on how they relate to your fitness and your health journey. And make sure that your goals and your actions align with those values to foster a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Because without fulfillment, that's when you run into that feeling of, I feel off and depressed and anxious and I'm not really sure why. It's because you're lacking fulfillment in your life because you have no sense of core values. And here's the kicker. Whatever you select as your core values, I want you to put thought into it. Don't just like race through it. You have to do those things regardless of how you feel. Regardless of how you feel. And that's going to be the toughest part for most people. Because most people allow their feelings to take over their minds. They allow their emotions to dictate their behaviors. And that's where they run into trouble. So, for example, if you choose something like live today like it's your last shot, which is one of my core values or principles, would you not go to the gym today because you didn't feel like it if you were trying to live today like it's your last chance? No. You would fucking go to the gym because today's your last shot to accomplish everything that you want in life, so why would you sit on your couch? If respect is one of your core values, then fucking show your body some respect and treat it right. Stop filling it with crap. Stop sitting on your ass. Stop putting toxic in your brain and consuming terrible news. And start focusing on being you and not trying to be anybody else. Overwhelming theme here. Be you, live the life that you can be proud of. You get one life and it's really short. Don't waste it. Number 10, and this kind of goes back into the recovery pillar and goes back into the stress management bucket. Practice self-care. Prioritize your physical health, your mental health, and your emotional health. Mind, body, soul. Prioritize your physical health through your nutrition, through your movement. Get sunlight, drink water, do the basic things that your body actually needs to not feel like shit. Don't feed your brain bullshit. Don't scroll on social media for hours and expect your mental and emotional well-being to be good, because it will not. Start living in the real world and stop living in a virtual world. Those are things of self-care. And incorporate self-care practices into your routine to help you recharge. Okay? And that could be going back to find joy in the little things, right? This is going to be different for everyone. Like self-care practices, true self-care, note this. True self-care is not sitting on the couch, eating fucking chocolate, binge watching a Netflix series. True self-care is taking care of your body. Self-care can be meditation, reading, journaling, relaxing, different things like that. However, you need to do the work as well. Because if you never do the work, then that self-care is just going to feel like laziness because you haven't quite, I hate to say the word earned it, but you haven't done the things necessary to be able to actually need the self-care. So, number 11. We're almost there, guys. Stay flexible and adaptable. Routines are wonderful. Routines are fucking great. Without a routine, most people can't get anything done. However, when you are out of your routine because life throws you a curveball, which will happen, or you're traveling, or something happens that you can't necessarily control, do you fall apart? Because that happens to a lot of people. They're great Monday through Friday, for example, but then Saturday and Sunday, the routine is different, and they can't hold their shit together, and they fail on the weekends, and they have to restart every Monday, and that's a terrible cycle to be in. So you have to stay flexible and adaptable. You're going to have to adjust at some point in time. You might have to adjust your strategies because of something that happened. However, you can always make the best decision that's right in front of you, no matter what. If you find yourself in a fast food line one day that you didn't necessarily plan for, but now you're here, you can make the best decision that's right in front of you by ordering something that's more macro-friendly, or that's more healthy, or higher in protein that's on the menu, instead of just saying, well, fuck it, I'm here, so I'm going to have a fucking McFlurry and fries. Don't do that. Be willing to also experiment and try different approaches if you need to find what's going to work best for you. Everything works, but nothing works forever, so keep that in mind. And the final thing, commit to continuous improvement and be aggressively patient in your pursuit. And what I mean by that is that you have to be aggressive by putting in the work every day and acting with urgency. However, you have to be patient in the sense that you understand that this will not happen overnight. You're not going to change your life in 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. You didn't put on all the weight in 2 weeks, 2 months, so you're not going to take it all off in 2 weeks and 2 months. So commit to continuous improvement because that is how we build a sustainable lifestyle. Embrace a growth mindset. Commit to a lifelong of learning. Always be learning, because once you stop learning because you think you know it all, that's when you become complacent, and that's when the growth stops. And in addition to this, always be willing to be curious and open-minded. Seek out different opportunities. Seek out different opportunities to grow and to learn and to develop yourself. Never be stuck in one camp is a good way to say this, but always look to continually improve yourself and your situation, because there's always another level, even if you think you're working as hard as you possibly can. There's always another level. So guys, those are the 12 steps in order on how to build your powerhouse mentality mindset for long-term success. Again, I'm going to list out all 12 of those steps down below in the show notes for you guys to revert back to. And if you have any questions at all, please email me, shoot me a DM on Instagram, whatever's easiest for you guys. But other than that, Stay tuned for week 7 next week and go out and do one thing today that's going to take you one step closer to where you want to be.